There are some school kids in various places who are revolting over being told that at school they have to wear rainbow colors to show their support for Pride Day. And a lot of kids were wearing red or blue or black shirts and colors and saying, I am not going to wear a rainbow shirt to somehow show support for something that I don't necessarily feel support for. Watch.
Displays of intolerance and homophobia are unacceptable.
This type of intolerant rhetoric starts in the home.
Parents angry at town hall over intolerance at Marshall Simons Middle School. Kids were asked to wear rainbow clothes in honor of Pride Spirit Day, but some organized a counter-protest wearing red, white, and blue or black. The principal sharing a statement to families that Pride posters were ripped down, stickers ripped up. Some students chanted USA are my pronouns, and students showing Pride were intimidated.
It was an unruly disruption.
I think an unruly disruption is forcing children to somehow sign on to something that many of them would consider to be deviant behavior. I just don't think that that's appropriate. What would happen, Pam, if that school had said, okay, everybody on Easter weekend has to wear a cross on their T-shirt?
Oh.
I mean, Jewish kids would find that appalling, and their parents, and rightfully so.
Right.
I would be the first one to say, no, you can't force a child to embrace the Christian faith in a public school or the Muslim faith or the Jewish faith or any faith. That's just inappropriate to tell them. Now, if the kid wants to come to school wearing Star of David or a cross, the kid ought to be able to do it. But that's a choice the kid makes. The school doesn't get to impose that upon these kids.
Well, of course, you're saying child, too. And how much knowledge do they really have at that age? The understanding of what even gay pride is, or the understanding of their own faith, for that matter.
Exactly.
So it's a very interesting time.
And it's why a lot of parents are pulling their kids out of public schools by the millions in this country, and I cannot blame them. All right, this has been a big week at the White House because they've basically gone all rainbow and pride, and it has just been painful to watch some of this. And I want to give you just a synopsis of what has happened. I can't imagine that you're totally oblivious to it. But the White House put put a large gay pride flag front and center draped on the White House and put 2 American flags on either side, which is a direct violation of federal flag protocol, which means that the U.S. flag always should be center and always should be elevated higher than any other flag of any kind, whether it's a state flag or an emphasis flag. Stars and stripes always above, always. Not at the White House this week. Nope, they didn't do it that way. And someone called out at the White House press room, Karine Jean-Pierre, and asked, how come you did this? You know, it seems a little difficult that you've prominently displayed gay pride over the stars and stripes.
There's been some criticism also of the White House, the flag placement with the pride flag violating the U.S. flag code. Did anybody notice that or fail to notice that, or was it an intentional statement? Can you just explain what happened with that?
So the administration was proud, again, to display the pride flag. It was a historic event at the White House. It's centered around the love and family, and I think that's important. And so, you know, we're not going to let anyone distract us from that.
Not going to let anyone detract you from what? Violating the flag code, making a mockery of the stars and stripes that people have died for, and elevating the rainbow pride flag above our country's flag? She went on to say that it was dangerous and a dangerous thing to say, because it was somehow offensive to transgender. What in the world does that have to do with why you'd violate the flag code? It's just absurd. Joe Biden has been asked by at least occasionally a reporter about this growing body of evidence that he took millions of dollars in direct bribes from the Ukrainian oligarchs and government to influence policy in the U.S. But his response to it, well, I would just say it's less than forthcoming.
We just have to demonstrate that he will not take power by, if he does run, making sure he under legitimate efforts of our Constitution, does not become the next president again.
Now, all this week, we've been dealing with a Biden Justice Department going after Donald Trump. Now, keep in mind, Joe Biden is the likely Democrat nominee. As of now, Donald Trump is the likely Republican nominee. So Joe Biden's Department of Justice and FBI has gone after Donald Trump to make it so that he will not be able to run. And perhaps if he can run, not be able to win. What you just heard was Joe Biden basically admitting that he's going to do everything he can to keep Donald Trump from running for president. It's one thing to say, I'm going to do everything I can to convince the voters to vote for me instead of him. That's legit. But to say, I'm going to try to prevent him from becoming president, now we know that everything that this is going on in the Justice Department, I'm not sure Joe intended to be that transparent about it.
Yeah.
My guess is he had no idea that what he was saying was one of those rare moments of unvarnished truth. And now it comes out. Kamala Harris, we call this the Kamala Comedy Hour. She was taking the stage this week in lieu of Joe Biden, who had a root canal, missed 2 days' work because of a root canal. Must have been a heck of a root canal, is all I can say. Not that they're ever pleasant, but that was a tough one to be gone 2 days. But she goes to the stage on Juneteenth, and on what for most people might be a fairly serious occasion, she's like the Joker from Batman. Watch.
Happy Juneteenth. Please have a seat. Please have a seat. And to my Divine Nine family.
Well, there she is. That was the funniest thing I think I've ever heard. We have comedians on our show this week, and they'll never be as funny as whatever Kamala Harris was laughing at. It's truly bizarre. But we have this little montage. This is Kamala Harris telling us how Joe Biden is one of her favorite people, but then rolling back some videos where maybe he wasn't at one time her favorite person.
Joe Biden is one of my most favorite people.
It was hurtful to hear you talk about the reputations of two United States senators who built their reputations and career on the segregation of race in this country.
And I see him making some of the most important, difficult decisions that any human being on earth would have to make.
Well, we're going to win and we're going to help. We have plans to build a railroad from the Pacific all the way across the Indian Ocean.
He's seen it all.
I can't wait to see that bridge. That will be one of the greatest engineering feats of all time. A bridge from India to the Pacific Ocean across the whole, I mean, wow. What kind of engineering would it require to do something like that? Joe's been talking about infrastructure. Man, is he ever on top of it with that. Truly incredible. Hey, Mike Huckabee here. Listen, if you love your mom, apple pie, and being conservative, you know you ought to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and click the like button, and show all the leftists out there that conservatives are thriving and patriotism is far from dead. Am I pandering too much? No way. I'm just getting started.